Hey everyone, welcome to the Select Generation podcast, episode 3. So here today I'm joined by Max Weinstein. So Max currently plays for New England Revolution, MLS Next. So Max, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate your time.
Of
Um,
course, thanks for having me.
yeah, just basically wanted to sort of get to know you a little bit, talk about your football journey, where you've been, where you want to go, where you're currently at, and just get to know you a little bit better, like I said. So
Yeah.
I'll let you give a quick introduction about yourself. Just tell us a little bit about who you are, like where you currently are in your football career, where you've been, where you want to go,
Mhm.
and just give us a little intro.
Yeah, so currently right now I play for the New England Revolution second team and recently made a decision that I want to go pro straight out of high school instead of go the college route. And I think that decision just aligns with my goals and what I want in my career. And yeah, I mean, that's overall where my decision came from. I've always wanted to be a professional, and I don't think college really had those same goals involved in it. So yeah.
Got it. Makes sense. So, in terms of your sort of steps, so, where are you now in high school? What grade are you in high school?
Senior.
You're a senior. So, when did you kind of think like, okay, I don't want to play college soccer. Like, I want to be a professional. Like, how did that come about? Was it coming from your coaches, from your parents, from you? Like, when did you sort of start? When did you sort of start to think about that? And then what was like the factors in terms of, okay, college isn't for me. I want to go straight to the pros. Like, talk us through your decision making.
Yeah, I mean, to be completely honest, my whole life. I think since I was pretty little, maybe around like really when I first started playing. So I was pretty young, but probably like when I really got into it, I was probably like 12. I've always played, but I'd say like 12, I just absolutely loved it. Like watched watched it every second, played every minute I could. And yeah, and I think I've always been confident in my ability, I guess. So I think ever since I started playing, like really like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a professional. And to be honest, like college is a great route. And but I never like it was never like my goal to be a college player. I didn't really like I almost like when I committed to college and I almost pictured it like almost going on loan just to like get games in kind of. But obviously that didn't happen, and I've always been pretty confident that I'm gonna have the ability to just go pro out of high school and go pro kind of when I wanted to, I guess. And yeah, that came true, and that's down to my hard work. So yeah.
Sure. And then, were you ever talking to any colleges? Were you like a freshman, sophomore in high school? Like, okay, I need like a backup, like a plan B. Like, I should start talking to colleges and see what's out there. Like, did that anything like that come up? Colleges reaching out to you, or you reaching out to them?
Yeah, I never really thought of it as a plan B, to be honest. But yeah, I was actually committed to the University of Vermont.
Oh, nice.
I know that you said you were at UNH, so I know
Yeah,
that's your rival.
yeah. It's a good thing you didn't go there.
Yeah. I still
No,
love those guys at Vermont, but
yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty close to them.
yeah. So I played at University of New Hampshire. So that's kind of why we came across your profile. We saw obviously you playing in New England, and um, I mean last year Vermont had a really good year. To be fair, they got to the
Hmm.
Elite Eight, I think,
Yeah.
and New Hampshire lost in the the round of 32 down in
Hmm.
Florida. I was there watching. I graduated 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, we had the like against Alex Nagy. I'm trying to think what other players. Nate Silvera, the goalie, he's playing at
Hmm.
Charlotte now. Played against
Yeah.
him. Yeah, like I mean, that was like the one game of the season like we had to win, and it's annoying because they beat us at home for the America East Championship. Uh,
Yeah.
that was my last year. But yeah, I mean they seem like a really tight knit group. That was like our big rivalry game. But yeah, the program is improving.
Yeah. I was actually born in Vermont,
Oh,
so
nice, awesome. But
or
like,
yeah, I grew up there. So
so how did that come about then? You talking to Vermont? Like they came and watched one of your games. You were like, okay, I want to go to Vermont. Like, talk us through.
yeah, so I actually they coached me, the assistant coach Adrian Dubois.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if you know him or not, but he coached me since I was a little kid. So I always knew if I ever did go to college that Vermont was a place I wanted to be. just because one, when I came out here to play for the Revs, I left home at a pretty young age, 16. I feel like it's a pretty young age to leave your family. So I committed there as soon as I could, pretty much, just because I was like, if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be back home and be close to my family and be with the people that I know really well and support me, and I know they have a good program there and they had a good plan for me.
Yeah. So when you left home at 16,
Mhm.
talk us through that. Like, what? So you got invited to play. Like, what's the whole process? Like, what happened in terms of you going and joining the Revs, leaving home? Like, were you living in a digs, like in a hotel, in a apartment? Like, what? Talk us through all that.
Yeah, so at first it was they saw film of me playing in a high school game my freshman year. And then from that game, they actually gave me an offer to come join the academy without seeing me play in person. And this was around COVID, but they didn't have a place for me to stay. So that was a hard part, and we couldn't figure something out. So then, like probably like I want to say 6 months later, around that, we figured out housing and a place for me to stay, and then moved down there. And then yeah,
And how was that like leaving your family? And I mean, it's not like so far, but obviously you're moving out of your home at 16.
yeah,
That's pretty young. That's pretty impressive, mate. So like talk us through like how you were feeling, like positives you thought about, negatives, like how was that?
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was really hard, honestly. It was a big adjustment period, and like the first, I want to say like couple months, first 6 months, honestly, like I just couldn't, I wasn't really like playing well at all. It was hard for me to play. Like I was really missing my family a lot. I couldn't see them a lot, and I didn't realize how much home meant to me. And it was like it's like a like 3.5, 4 hour drive ish. So I mean, it is good because like on days I have off or maybe like a few days off, I can go home maybe for a day. So that really helped me. But yeah, at first it was really hard to play actually. And then I remember a few like a month in, I started training with the second team, and then that was really like that adjustment period going from playing high school and club to then playing professional soccer in a span of weeks honestly was it was good. Like I learned a lot, and I was never like I've never been like scared or anything of like the bigger name players I played against or anything like that. Even now when I train with the first team, like there's some big name players there, and I feel like I've never been like scared, and I always use it as a learning opportunity. So I tried to learn as much as I could when I was there. And then I think actually like when I first got there, I wanted to be like my thing was like I wanted to be the best, and like just try like everything for me was a competition. Like, oh, I'm gonna do better than this and better than that. And I think that mindset for me wasn't the best mindset. And I think now my mindset has really changed a lot. And now it's I try to look at everything I can from a learning standpoint. Like I'm gonna learn in this, and then it's kind of me versus me, not me versus this guy, me versus anyone. It's me versus myself.
Hmm.
And I think that's a mindset that's taken me the farthest. And even now, like it's kind of a similar adjustment. Like now training with the first team, playing games with the second team. So I'm kind of still trying to like use that same mindset, always just learning. I don't have to it's not me versus anyone, it's just me versus myself. And I think early on this season I kind of lost focus to that mindset. And I think like moving like everything early on when I was 16. I think I kind of learned this at a pretty young age, which I think really, really helped me. So,
Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
great. And then Carlos Gill, what's he like in training?
He's a great guy.
He's great. What about with the
Good,
ball? Like, is he a joke?
great player. Yeah, he's so good in training.
Who would you say is like the best training player?
Carlos.
Yeah, he just does what he wants with the ball.
Yeah, it's so natural.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. No, that's sick. You get to play the first team. What
Yeah,
would you
thank
say?
you.
Like, how is the jump from MLS Next Pro, like when you're playing, to then when you're going and training with the first team? Like, what are the differences?
Um, those mistakes that you might get away with, like maybe like clipping a ball and then it gets like it's a wrong decision. That wrong decision is going to cost you. So I think like
Especially for a goalie.
Yeah, exactly. Every decision you make, I feel like has to be the right decision.
Yeah,
And there's obviously not always right one decision. There's not always one correct decision, but you really have to think about that decision, and then like if it's the wrong decision, it's gonna cost you.
yeah. And then in
And
terms of
then of course the ball moves faster too.
yeah, the speed of play, and then in terms of like off the field, like, do you see a difference in how the first
Oh
team?
yeah.
Do you see a difference in terms of like how the first team players like handle themselves in terms of nutrition, like taking care of recovery versus the MLS Next Pro guys? Like, what are the things that the MLS Next Pro guys need to do off the field to be like the pros?
Yeah, I think that's another thing that I learn a lot from too, seeing like both sides of how guys on the second team kind of prepare for games, training out after training, like how they take care of their body. And I think I mean the guys from the first team, and you see like it's like everyone, they're all very professional. They know how to take care of their body. They get their lifts in for the week. Nutrition is always top, and they train with really good intent. Like they do like the extra work they do. They're not just doing extra work, do extra work. Like everything they do is for a reason. And they do it at 100% too.
Yeah,
So I feel like just like the aspect of really learning to take care of your body, I can learn a lot from
yeah.
the first team.
No, that's great. You get that exposure, and then
Yeah.
how would you compare like the MLS Next Pro level to your club or academy? Like um how would you compare like when you were playing club academy to now when you're playing in those games like in the pro level?
Yeah, it's different, much more physical. And I just think like I think the biggest difference for me is honestly with my feet, I would say. Um
Because when you're at the pro level, you want to play out more, or what do you mean?
yeah, that yeah, and just decision making with your feet. I feel like you can get away with making a few bad passes maybe in academy or especially in club too. But I feel like it's harder just because everyone's more physical. So like if you want to play into spaces or into someone, like it has to be the perfect ball.
Sure. Yeah.
If
No.
not, it'll get intercepted and then
Yeah.
countered. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that. And then no, that's awesome, Max. So for you, what are your ambitions for the rest of this season, for next season, for the next 5 years? Like, what would you consider yourself success in your football career? I know obviously you're very like early in your career, you're still learning, and training with the first team is massive. So what for you is like your 6 month, 3 year, 5 year plan? Like what for you is going to be like, okay, I had a good year this year. Like what are your goals?
yeah, I mean, for this year, first year as a pro, I mean, I just want to take in and learn as much as I can. And then the games I do play, I want to make sure that I make the most and apply everything I learn and put it to those games and ultimately help my team win, keep a clean sheet, and do well those games. So that's important. And then the next like 3 years, 18, I mean, obviously, of course, I wanna play in the MLS as soon as I can. So that's always a goal that I'm working towards. And I think by the time I'm hopefully, I want to say 21. I mean, that's my goal to maybe to start playing games in MLS. And then, yeah, I mean, of course, Europe one day is
You're
my
gonna be like
dream.
the next Matt Turner.
I hope so. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
What do you have like any like favorite? Have you ever been to Europe before?
I haven't. No.
Where would you want to go? Like, obviously, I hope you would say Premier League, but what about like have you thought about where you want to play like Prem in Spain, in Italy, in France?
I mean, anyone's. I feel like anyone.
Obvious, yeah,
The
obviously
Premier
anywhere. But
League.
like, if you like, let's say they were all the same like level, the same contract, whatever. Like, would you have a favorite country to go and live in?
I'd have to say England.
Yeah, good lad, good lad.
I
Love
just feel like the culture and just everything, like the excitement for the game is amazing down there.
Yeah, I was like saying to my friends, like I've been to obviously a few MLS games. Like I used to live in Charlotte in North Carolina, and then
Hmm.
whilst I was at New Hampshire, it was kind of like COVID, so we didn't get to go and watch any Revs games. But it's crazy to me how the away fans and the home fans can sit like in the same section. Like if you did that
Yeah, yeah,
if you did that in Europe, like that's just trouble.
yeah,
Yeah, I know what you mean. And then like even the chants, like the chants. I mean, they just like at the Charlotte FC. I mean, they have really, really good fans. I'm not talking bad about the fans, but it seems like the same three songs on repeat the whole time.
yeah.
But yeah, compared to Europe, like I miss going to matches back home.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Max, I know it's late, so won't steal any more of your time. But thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Really appreciate it, mate. And then
Of course, yeah. Thanks for
just to
having me.
end, so I'm going to put you on the spot, but have you got a fun fact about you that people might not know?
Um, a fun fact about me. Um, hmm. Oh, I actually know a good one.
Go on.
I was talking about this earlier. So, I'm starting to get into golf, and I'm a righty.
Okay.
I'm right-handed, right-footed. So but I hit lefty for some reason.
With golf?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. I think it's kind of a fun fact. I feel like.
I mean, they say that goalies are always crazy, weird people. So
It's true. I've heard that one a lot, and I get made fun of for that a lot. But I don't think me.
that's cool, man. That's good. Well, anyway, Max, thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate your time. Best of luck with the rest of your season, and always here if you need anything. All right, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Okay, Max. Have a good rest of your